The moment I found out the truth, my chest burned like fire. She hadn't just lied, she had brought him around our son. The one place I thought was safe, our child's world, she poisoned it with betrayal. When I confronted her, she looked me in the eyes and said, "You're overreacting." Overreacting? To the man sitting across from my boy? That's when I realized, this wasn't about love anymore. This was war. I never forgot the sound. That sharp crack of glass under my shoes when I pushed the door open. It was like the house itself had split apart the moment I stepped inside. My chest went tight, my breath caught, and I froze in the entryway. "Chrissy?" My voice broke on her name. No answer, but there was a sound upstairs. A muffled laugh. A low murmur that wasn't mine. I dropped my keys, and the clatter echoed too loud. My legs carried me up the stairs even as my mind screamed to turn back. The bedroom door was half open. I pushed it wider and the scene burned into me, Chrissy in our bed, tangled up with him. Benny. Her boss. His shirt was off, hers halfway undone. For a second, I couldn't breathe. What the fuck is this? My voice thundered out before I could stop it. Chrissy gasped, scrambling to sit up. "Wait, no, it's not." "Not what?" My words sliced through the air. "Not you in my bed with him? Not his hands on you?" Benny stood, calm in a way that made my blood boil. "Look, man, maybe you should." "Shut your mouth." I roared. "Don't you dare speak to me." Chrissy's eyes filled with tears. She clutched the blanket to her chest. "Please, just listen." "Listen?" I took a step closer. "You lied to me. You swore there was nothing going on. And now this? In our home? Where our son sleeps?" She sobbed, shaking her head. "It's not what it looks like. Don't you dare say that line to me." I cut her off. My fists clenched so tight my nails dug into my palms. Benny reached for his shirt. "I think I should leave. You should never have come here." I shouted at him. "You're old enough to be her father, and you crawl into my house like some rat? Get the hell out before I break you." Chrissy stood, her voice rising. "Stop. Don't threaten him. Don't threaten him." I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. "You cheat on me, and your first thought is to protect him?" She cried harder. "I made a mistake." "A mistake?" My chest burned. "You don't trip and fall into someone's bed, Chrissy." "How long? Tell me the truth right now." She shook her head, trembling. It was just tonight. Just once." I slammed my fist against the doorframe. "Liar. Do not stand there and lie to my face." "How many times?" Her voice cracked. "It was just tonight." Benny buttoned his shirt quickly. "Man, this isn't helping anyone. Let her explain." I spun on him, fury blazing. "You don't get to speak her excuses for her. You're done here. Out." He raised his hands, muttering, "Fine," and slipped past me. The sound of his footsteps on the stairs made my stomach twist. The door shut downstairs, leaving silence. Only Chrissy's sobs filled the room. I stared at her, my whole body shaking. "How could you? After everything, after all our years, after our son, how could you do this?" She reached for me, tears streaming. "Please, I don't even know why." I felt so alone. I pulled back. "Don't touch me." Her voice cracked like glass. "I was wrong, I know I was wrong. Please, don't leave. We can fix this." "Fix this?" My throat tightened. "You shattered me. There is no fixing this." Her sobs grew frantic. "I swear it didn't mean anything. He doesn't matter. You're the one I love." "Love?" My laugh came out raw. "Love doesn't look like this, Chrissy. Love doesn't sneak around and destroy everything behind my back." She dropped to her knees, clutching the blanket. "I'll do anything. Please, just don't end us like this." I felt my vision blur with tears, but my anger burned hotter. "You ended us the second you let him touch you. Her voice broke into a whisper. I didn't want to lose you. You already did. Silence swallowed us. Only the sound of her crying, broken and desperate, filled the room. I turned away, my chest hollow. I can't look at you right now. I can't even breathe in this room. She crawled closer, her fingers brushing my arm. Please, don't go. I'll cut him off, I'll block him, I'll never see him again. Just give me one more chance. I pulled free. You had every chance already. Every day, every promise, every vow we made. And you threw it all away for him? Her face crumpled. It wasn't about him. I was just lost. I swear, it wasn't about him. I shook my head slowly. Doesn't matter. You chose him. You lied. And now, my voice cracked. Now there's nothing left. She collapsed against the bed, sobbing uncontrollably. Please, please don't leave me. I stared at her one last time. The woman I thought I knew, broken on the floor. The woman who destroyed me. My legs felt like stone, but I forced them to move. Step by step, I left the room. Left the house. Left everything I thought was real. The night air hit me cold when I stepped outside. My chest heaved, but no tears came. I felt hollow, numb, like my soul had been scooped out. Behind me, through the walls, I still heard her sobs. But I kept walking. And I didn't look back. The Airbnb smelled like paint and cheap soap when I carried in my single suitcase. The walls were bare, the bed creaked when I dropped my bag on it, and the silence pressed against me like a weight. I sat down, staring at the floor, and whispered to myself, this doesn't feel like home. Nothing will. My phone buzzed almost immediately. Chrissy. Chrissy, please, can we talk? Me, talk about what? You made your choice. Chrissy, it was a mistake. Just one. Please, I need you to believe me. Me, I don't believe a word you say anymore. I tossed the phone across the bed. My chest burned, my hands shook. I reached for the photo of my son that I kept in my wallet and pressed it to my forehead. Kid, I whispered, what kind of future am I leaving for you? The phone buzzed again. This time it was Mark. Pick up, I muttered, and I did. Hey, man, Mark's voice came steady. How's the new place? Empty, I said. Feels like I'm living in a hotel where nobody checks in again. Just me and my thoughts, and they won't shut up. Mark sighed. I figured. You sound like you haven't slept. I haven't. I just lie here, staring at pictures of my son, wondering how I explain to him why Daddy doesn't live at home anymore. You don't explain it now, Mark said firmly. He's too young. You focus on yourself. You get strong. That's how you protect him. I laughed bitterly. Strong? I feel like I'm crumbling. She's already texting, calling, begging. She says it was just a mistake. That it didn't mean anything. And you believe her? Mark asked. I paused. I want to. That's the fucked up part. A piece of me wants to believe she's sorry. That it was just one time. That maybe I can forgive her. But the other part? I clenched my jaw. The other part sees her lies replaying in my head. The way she swore nothing was going on, even while she was sneaking around. That part doesn't trust a damn thing she says. Mark's tone sharpened. Then listen to that part. You can't heal if you let her gaslight you. She says she loves me, I whispered. How do you say you love someone while betraying them? Mark went quiet for a moment. Some people don't know what love means. They confuse it with comfort, with fear of being alone. That's not your problem to fix. I rubbed my eyes, exhaustion sinking in. I don't know how to do this, man. I don't know how to sleep in a strange bed while she's in our house with our son. I don't know how to breathe without thinking about her with him. Then don't think about them, Mark said. Think about your son. He needs a father who doesn't collapse. The phone buzzed again. Another text from Chrissy. Chrissy, I miss you. Please come home. We can talk it out. I showed it to Mark on FaceTime. See? She won't stop. He shook his head. And she won't. She's desperate. She wants control back. Don't give it to her. I dropped the phone on the mattress and leaned back against the wall. I don't feel like me anymore. It's like everything I thought I was, husband, father, man who believed in loyalty, it all got ripped away the second I opened that door. Mark's voice softened. You're still a father. That doesn't change. And you can still be a man who believes in loyalty, just not in her loyalty. The silence stretched between us. I finally said, I can't eat. I can't sleep. I feel like I'm walking around half dead. That's grief, Mark said. And grief takes time. But you're alive. You're still here. That matters. I closed my eyes. I want the pain to stop. It will, he said. But not tonight. Not tomorrow. You've got to walk through it. I stared at the ceiling. I replay it over and over. Walking in. Seeing her. Him. The look on her face. It stuck in my head like a movie I can't shut off. Then talk to me about it, Mark said. Don't carry it alone. So I did. I told him every detail, every word, every sound from that night until my throat burned. He listened. He didn't interrupt. He just let me bleed out the story. When I finished, my voice cracked. And now she says it was just one time. Just a mistake. How do I ever know what's true? You don't, he said simply. That's the point. You'll never know, because she made sure of that. And that's why trust is dead. I rubbed my chest. Dead. That's what it feels like. Like something inside me died that night. Mark leaned forward. Then let it die. Let the part of you that trusted her go. And rebuild from what's left. I didn't answer. My throat felt tight. He added quietly, I'm here, man. Every night if you need me. But don't answer her calls. Don't let her drag you into her version of the story. I nodded slowly. I'll try. After we hung up, the room fell silent again. Just me, the creak of the bed, and the glow of my son's photo on the nightstand. Another buzz. Another text. Chrissy, I can't live without you. Please. For our son. For us. I stared at it until my eyes blurred. Then I turned the phone face down. I whispered into the dark, you already killed us. The silence swallowed my words whole. I don't want to be here, I muttered, staring at the office rug, its pattern twisting under my shoes. Chrissy sighed. We need this. Please, just give it a chance. The therapist, a middle-aged man with glasses perched too low, leaned forward. Why don't we start simple? Why are you both here today? I let out a bitter laugh. Because she decided honesty was optional in marriage. Chrissy's voice cracked. That's not fair. I snapped, not fair. Chrissy, I walked in on you with Benny. What word should I use? Unlucky? Misunderstood? Her eyes welled up. It wasn't like that. You don't understand. I don't? I leaned forward. Then explain. Enlighten me. What was I supposed to understand while watching you scramble for clothes in our bedroom? The therapist raised his hand. Let's keep this constructive. Chrissy, can you tell him what you were feeling? She whispered, lonely. I blinked, stunned. Lonely? We have a son together. A home. I worked myself to the bone to give you that. And your solution to loneliness was Benny? Chrissy buried her face in her hands. It was a mistake. Just a mistake. I turned to the therapist. Do you hear this? Everything reduced to a mistake. Like forgetting to pick up milk. Chrissy, the therapist said gently, when you say mistake, what do you mean? Her fingers trembled as she wiped tears. It wasn't planned. I didn't mean for it to happen. I slammed my palm on the armrest. You didn't mean for it to happen. You went to his office. Again. And again. How many times was it? Once? Twice? Silence. Answer me, I demanded. She whispered, 3. 3? My chest burned. You swore it was once. You cried, begged me to believe you. And now it's 3? The therapist scribbled something on his notepad. This is progress. Honesty, even painful honesty, is a step forward. I laughed bitterly. Progress? She's been drip-feeding me lies since the night it happened. Every session, every conversation, it's another detail she forgot. Chrissy shook her head frantically. I'm not lying anymore. I locked eyes with her. That's the problem. I can't tell the difference anymore. Every word out of your mouth feels like another setup, another trap. Stop, she whispered, clutching her chest. I'm trying. You weren't trying when you let him touch you. You weren't trying when you told me I was crazy for suspecting anything. Her voice broke. I was scared. Scared you'd leave me. I stared at her, disbelief crawling under my skin. So you thought the way to keep me was by giving yourself to him? The therapist leaned forward. Let's slow down. What do you both want from these sessions? I answered quickly. The truth. Nothing else matters until I get the whole damn truth. Chrissy sniffled. I want my family back. I want us. Us? I almost choked on the word. There is no us left. There's me, broken. There's you, rewriting history. And there's our son, who deserves better than this circus. Her face crumpled. Don't say that. Please, don't take him from me. Don't make me the villain. You created this. I know, she cried. I hate myself every day. I can't sleep. I can't breathe without feeling the weight of what I did. I swallowed hard. Her words stabbed, but they didn't soothe. Good. Maybe that weight will finally crush the lies out of you. The therapist interjected. Can we find a middle ground? Perhaps acknowledging responsibility while also leaving space for healing? I looked at him sharply. Healing requires truth. She doesn't know how to give it. Chrissy leaned toward me. I swear, there's nothing else. 3 times. That's it. It's over. I searched her face. And I'm supposed to believe you now? Her lip trembled. Yes. I whispered, almost to myself, God, I want to. I hate that I still want to. She reached for my hand. Then believe me. I jerked away. Don't touch me. Her eyes widened. You used to hold me through everything. Now you look at me like I'm poison. Because you are. The words left before I could stop them. You poisoned every memory, every kiss, every late-night talk. Now when I look at you, I see Benny's shadow. She covered her mouth and sobbed. The therapist leaned back. This is raw. Painful. But sometimes this is where true conversations begin. I glared. This isn't a conversation. This is her cornered, admitting crumbs, while I try to piece together a shattered picture. Chrissy whispered, I don't want crumbs. I want to give you everything. I'll prove it. How? I demanded. How do you prove anything when every word feels like another half-truth? I'll cut him out completely. Block his number. Change jobs. Whatever it takes. I laughed harshly. You should have thought about that before you gave him everything you promised me. Her tears blurred her makeup, streaking her cheeks. I'm begging you. I can't lose you. You already did. Silence filled the room, heavy and suffocating. The therapist broke it softly. Sometimes betrayal doesn't end marriages, but the inability to rebuild trust does. Do you want to rebuild? I stared at Chrissy. Her eyes were desperate, swollen, raw. I wanted to scream yes, and I wanted to burn everything to ash at the same time. Finally, I muttered, I don't know. Chrissy reached for me again, voice trembling. Then stay. Just, stay until you do know. I shook my head slowly. You don't get it. Every time you speak, I wonder what you're not saying. Every truth you offer feels like another lie waiting to unravel. I'll keep proving myself, she whispered. I'll do whatever it takes. I turned to the therapist. Tell me. Do you see a future here? Be honest. He paused, studying us. I see two people drowning. One clinging to hope, the other clinging to pain. Which one wins depends on what you choose next. My throat tightened. Then I'm already lost. Chrissy sobbed, don't say that. Please. Don't give up on me. I stood abruptly. The chair scraped against the floor. I came for honesty. All I got was trickle truth. I can't keep drowning in this. Her voice followed me as I walked out the door. I love you. Please, don't let this be the end. I didn't turn back. I hate this table, I muttered as I sat down, eyeing the stack of paperwork between us. Chrissy adjusted her scarf nervously. It's just a formality. Mediation doesn't mean the end. The mediator, a calm woman with folders neatly stacked, gave a polite smile. We'll work through the terms together. My job is to help you find common ground. I exhaled sharply. Common ground? That's rich. Chrissy leaned forward. Please don't start like this. I'm trying. Trying what? To look good for her? I nodded toward the mediator. Chrissy's voice trembled. To keep us civil. For our son. The mediator raised her hand. Let's focus. Housing first. Do you plan to stay in the family home? I shook my head. No. I've already signed a lease. Long term. Apartment near downtown. Chrissy's face fell. You didn't tell me. You don't need to know everything anymore. Her lip trembled. But, it's permanent? It's real, I said flatly. Unlike this marriage. The mediator scribbled notes. So, he'll vacate the home, and Chrissy remains with the child? Yes, Chrissy whispered. I rubbed my temple. Let's just keep moving. That night in the apartment, I lay on the mattress that still smelled like plastic wrap. The walls felt too white, too bare, like they were waiting to see if I'd crumble. I stared at photos of my son on my phone, his messy hair, his gap-toothed grin, and whispered into the silence, what future am I building for you? The silence answered back with nothing but my own breathing. A few days later, Chrissy showed up at my door holding a casserole dish. I frowned. What the hell is this? Dinner, she said softly. You've been living on takeout. I thought. You thought what? That lasagna fixes betrayal? She set it on the counter anyway. I thought you might be hungry. I crossed my arms. You don't get to play wife anymore. She looked down. I know. But I still care. Later that week, she brought groceries. The week after, a new coffee mug with my initials etched in gold. Finally, I snapped. Why are you doing this? She hesitated. Because I love you. Because I can't stand watching you drift away. You should have thought of that when you were busy with Benny. Her eyes flinched at his name. Stop throwing it in my face. How can I not? Every smile you give me, I see him behind it. Every word feels like another game. It's not a game, she shouted. I'm trying to prove I've changed. I stared hard. No, you're trying to buy me back. Casseroles, gifts, sweet words, it's all bargaining. She whispered, what if it's not? What if I just want to take care of you? And what if I don't want your care anymore? The words hung heavy, sharper than I meant. She bit her lip. You're still wearing your ring. I looked at my hand. The band glared back at me. I wanted to rip it off, but my fingers froze. Habit, I muttered. Not habit, she whispered. Hope. Hope. I laughed bitterly. Paper walls, Chrissy. That's all this is. Paper walls of mediation, and you're decorating them with lasagna and mugs like they'll hold us together. She reached for me. We can rebuild. I pulled away. Stop saying that. Stop pretending this isn't ending. Tears welled in her eyes. You don't believe in second chances? I swallowed hard. I believe in trust. And ours is dead. The next mediation session was worse. The mediator asked, finances. Will you share joint responsibility for your son's expenses? Yes, I said quickly. Chrissy added softly, of course. We didn't look at each other. The mediator nodded. Good. Parenting schedule next. My stomach twisted. I want weekends. Chrissy's voice cracked. But he needs you during the week too. I'll be there, I said firmly. But weekends are mine. She whispered, you're cutting me out. No, I said, glaring. You cut yourself out the night you chose Benny. Her shoulders shook as she wiped tears. The mediator tried smoothing it over. This isn't about blame. It's about the child. I whispered, more to myself than anyone, everything's about blame now. That night, Chrissy texted me. Chrissy, I'm sorry. I know you hate me. But please don't hate what we had. I stared at the screen for a long time. My thumb hovered, then I typed back. I don't hate what we had. I hate what you turned it into. No reply came. I set the phone down and sat in the dim glow of the kitchen, the casserole dish still in the fridge, untouched. My new mug sat on the counter. I couldn't throw them out, but I couldn't use them either. The silence pressed in again, reminding me of what the mediator said, finding common ground. But all I felt was the ground crumbling beneath me. The waiting room smelled like stale coffee and lavender candles. My knee bounced uncontrollably. Chrissy whispered, you're nervous. I didn't look at her. I'm calculating odds. 5%. She frowned. 5% of what? Of this marriage surviving. Her eyes widened. That low? That high, I muttered. The therapist, Dr. Keller, greeted us with a calm smile. Come in, please. We sat across from her, two broken statues trying to pretend we weren't crumbling. Dr. Keller folded her hands. This is a safe space. Honesty is the foundation here. No progress without truth. Do you both agree? Yes, Chrissy said quickly. I nodded, though my stomach twisted. Dr. Keller leaned forward. Tell me why you're here. Chrissy started. I made a mistake. I betrayed him. But I love him. I want to fix us. I cut in. She didn't just betray me. She lied, again and again, piece by piece. She gave me truth in drops, never the whole bucket. Chrissy's voice cracked. I was scared. Scared of what? I demanded. Scared of me? Or scared of losing Benny? Her face stiffened. Don't say his name. I leaned back. Then say the truth. Dr. Keller raised a hand. Let's slow down. Chrissy, what are you holding back? Chrissy's eyes filled. Nothing. I told him everything. I barked a bitter laugh. You always say that. Until something new comes out. Dr. Keller looked at me. What would it take for you to believe her? One reason, I whispered. One reason to believe she's not still lying. The session ended with no new confessions, just more tears. A week later, I sat in Dr. Keller's office alone. She studied me carefully. I need to ask something difficult. Are you open to hearing things that may hurt? My chest tightened. I've been living in hurt. Say it. She handed me a file. Multiple reports confirm Chrissy is still seeing Benny. The air left my lungs. No. No, she wouldn't. Dr. Keller's voice stayed steady. She has brought him around your son. I froze. My vision blurred. She what? It was observed more than once, she said gently. I'm sorry. My hands shook. My chest burned like fire had crawled inside me. I stumbled out of the office, barely hearing her voice calling my name. That night, I confronted Chrissy. I slammed the evidence folder on the table. What the hell is this? She paled. Where did you get that? Answer me. My voice cracked. Are you still seeing him? She stammered. I saw him once or twice. Once or twice? I shouted. It says multiple times. And you brought him around our son. She shook her head violently. No, not like that. Not like that? What does that mean, Chrissy? Her voice dropped to a whisper. I only saw him when our son was asleep. He never. Don't you dare lie again, I snapped, my fist slamming the table. You broke our agreement. You swore no one outside family. You swore. Tears streamed down her cheeks. I didn't want him to feel like I was alone. I didn't want our son to think. You didn't want to be alone, I interrupted. This isn't about him. It's about you. Always you. She sobbed. I didn't mean to hurt you. Didn't mean to. My voice cracked. You've been hurting me for months, Chrissy. You begged me to try therapy. You begged me to hope. And all the while, you were with him. Her words came out in gasps. I didn't want a broken home. I laughed bitterly. You broke it yourself. She reached out. Please, listen. I jerked back. No. You don't get to touch me. Her voice turned sharp. So what, you're just going to give up? Walk away? Throw everything away? I stared at her, my chest heaving. You already threw it away. All I did was pick up the glass and cut myself on it. Silence filled the room, broken only by her sniffles. Finally, she whispered, I thought therapy would distract you. I thought, maybe if we talked enough, you'd forget the details. I shook my head in disbelief. You dragged me into therapy to buy time? To cover your tracks? Her lips trembled. I was scared of losing both of you. Him and you. The word sliced deeper than any truth. So I was just a backup plan? No, she cried. I wanted you both in different ways. I slammed my hand against the wall. That's not love. That's selfishness. She collapsed onto the couch, sobbing uncontrollably. I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix it. I turned toward the door, my voice breaking. You can't. You already made sure of that. Her final plea followed me out. Don't take my son away from me. I froze, hand on the doorknob. For a moment, the weight of those words nearly crushed me. But then I remembered the file, the photos, the betrayal wrapped around my child's innocence. I opened the door and walked out. For the first time, I didn't feel numb. I felt rage, clear and sharp, burning me alive. I can't believe you're acting like this, Chrissy said, arms crossed, eyes sharp. You're overreacting. Overreacting? My voice cracked. You let him around our son. And you think I'm supposed to stay calm? It's not what you think. She leaned forward, desperate, but her tone stayed flat. You twist everything. I slammed my hand against the table. Don't tell me what I saw wasn't real. She shrugged, trying to look casual. You're just looking for reasons to make me the villain. I don't have to look. You hand me proof every time you open your mouth. My chest burned as if fire replaced blood. You should be happy, she said, almost smirking. This makes the divorce easier. You'll get what you want. What I want? I laughed, sharp and bitter. You think I wanted this? I begged you for honesty. I prayed for one damn reason to forgive you. Her eyes narrowed. You make everything so dramatic. You can't handle real life. Real life? My voice dropped. Is real life lying, sneaking, dragging Benny into our child's world like it's normal? She didn't blink. You're exaggerating. It's not like that. It's exactly like that. My hands shook, pointing at her. Stop pretending I'm crazy. Her lip curled. You sound just like, she stopped. Say it. My throat tightened. Go on. You sound just like my mother, she snapped. Always judging, always making me feel worthless. I froze, rage flickering into something sharper. Your mother? Yes. You think you're better than me, but you're the same as her, cold, controlling, impossible to please. A laugh tore out of me, ragged and ugly. No. You know who you sound like? Exactly like her. Playing the victim, twisting every truth until you can't tell what's real anymore. Her face paled, but her chin lifted. That's cruel. Cruel? My voice rose, shaking the walls. Cruel is betrayal. Cruel is dragging me through months of hell while you smile in my face. You don't understand, she yelled back, voice cracking. I was lonely. You shut me out, you buried yourself in work, and I needed something, someone, who made me feel alive. Alive? I spat. So you killed us to feel alive? Tears welled, but she didn't reach for me. She folded her arms tighter, as if bracing against a storm. You never see me. You only see what I fail to be for you. I leaned in, every word like broken glass. No. I see exactly who you are. And for the first time, I'm not making excuses. Her lip trembled. Don't do this. It's already done, I said. Every lie, every half-truth, you lit the match. Now I'm standing in the fire. You don't mean that, she whispered. I do. My voice was steady now, the rage cooling into something harder, cleaner. You want me to doubt myself. You want me to question my sanity. But I finally see it, you're terrified. Not sorry. Not guilty. Just scared to be alone. Her eyes widened, as if I'd stripped her bare. That's not true. It is, I said. And I won't carry your fear anymore. Silence stretched between us, thick and jagged. She tried to speak, but nothing came. I stepped back, chest heaving, hands still trembling. Yet for the first time, I felt clarity instead of chaos. Chrissy, I said quietly, you can keep lying to yourself. But you don't get to lie to me anymore. Her mouth opened, closed, then pressed into a thin line. I turned away, heart hammering, but lighter than it had been in months. Behind me, she whispered, barely audible, you'll regret this. I didn't look back. No. For once, I won't. The first night I couldn't sleep, I put on my shoes and walked out into the dark streets. The air was cool, damp, carrying the smell of rain that hadn't fallen yet. My footsteps echoed, steady but hollow, like my own chest. Why did you do it? I whispered out loud, as if Chrissy were walking beside me. Why wasn't I enough? The silence answered, louder than anything. I shoved my hands in my pockets, muttering to myself. I gave everything. And you still treated me like nothing. My breath fogged in the air, thin and fleeting. Was I that worthless? I heard her voice in my head, you're overreacting. You twist everything. It's not what you think. Don't gaslight me now, I said under my breath. Not anymore. The city lights blurred in puddles, neon reds and greens scattered across the asphalt. I walked faster, like I could outpace the weight pressing against my ribs. You didn't choose Benny over me, I said to the street lamps. You chose the easy lie over the hard truth. You couldn't face yourself. A man passed by, glancing at me like I was crazy for talking to no one. I didn't care. You begged me, I whispered, voice shaking. But only on your terms. Only if I kept swallowing lies. And when I said no, you called me cruel. The memory tightened my chest. Her eyes, wide and wounded. The word mother like a knife. I stopped at a bus stop bench and sat down, staring at the flickering ad light. She never apologized, I said, speaking into the night. Not once. Not really. My throat felt raw. I leaned forward, elbows on my knees. And I kept waiting. God, I kept waiting. For some proof you loved me. For some sign you'd fight for us. But you never did. You only fought to not be alone. The wind pushed trash along the gutter. It sounded like whispers. You were weak, I said. That's the truth, isn't it? Not evil, not monstrous, just too weak to face yourself. And weakness rots everything it touches. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Her name lit up the screen. I stared at it until it stopped ringing. She still thinks she owns me, I muttered, standing up again. Still thinks I'm trapped. I walked, faster now, past closed shops, graffiti walls, an empty diner glowing under fluorescent light. My reflection in the glass looked older, heavier. I'm not the victim anymore, I told the reflection. I'm free. The word surprised me, steady and firm, like they'd been waiting inside me. Free, I repeated. You don't get to define me. You don't get to poison me anymore. I imagined her face, shocked, when I finally stopped begging, stopped listening. I imagined her realizing that the silence I gave her was permanent. You always thought I needed you more than you needed me, I whispered. But look at you. You're the one afraid of the dark. I'm still walking. I kept moving. My legs burned, but it felt good. Every step stretched farther away from her. You made me feel small, I said, almost laughing. Every word, every denial, every excuse, you shrank me down until I couldn't breathe. And I let you. A couple walked past, holding hands, whispering and laughing. The sound made me flinch. You stole that from me, I said, teeth clenched. You made laughter sound like betrayal. But I'm taking it back. The couple turned a corner and disappeared. I kept walking, streets growing quieter. She wanted me broken, I told the darkness. Because if I stayed broken, I'd stay. But I'm not broken anymore. I'm rebuilding. I thought of my son, his laugh, his small hands, his questions about why mommy and daddy weren't together. You don't get to ruin him too, I whispered. I'll protect him from your lies. I'll show him strength doesn't mean control. It means honesty. It means standing when everything tries to knock you down. The word steadied me, straightened my back. You didn't choose Benny, I said again. You chose fear. And I chose freedom. I passed under a bridge, the walls covered in spray paint, colors clashing over each other. One word stuck out, scrawled in black, rebirth. I stopped, staring. Rebirth, I murmured. Yeah. That's what this is. My breath came slow now, calm. I'm not mourning anymore. I'm shedding. The city seemed quieter, like it was listening. Chrissy, I said softly, you're a chapter one had to close. Not because you ended it, but because I chose to stop rereading the same page. The truth hit me with sudden clarity. She hadn't destroyed me. She'd freed me, by forcing me to see who she really was. I'm done carrying your ghost, I said. You don't live in me anymore. I looked up at the night sky, faint stars drowned by city light, but still shining. I'm free, I whispered again. And this time, it felt like the whole city echoed back. I turned toward home, slower now, steps steady. The darkness didn't scare me anymore. It felt like mine. Mark leaned back in his chair, sipping his coffee, watching me stare out the window. You've heard, right? He asked. I didn't look at him. Heard what? About Chrissy. People are talking. I laughed softly, bitter. Of course they are. Affairs don't stay secrets forever. Even the best lies rot. Mark leaned forward. I thought you'd want to know. Her friends, most of them don't pick up her calls anymore. They finally see her, I said, my voice flat. Not the mask. The truth. He studied me. Does it make you feel better? I smirked. Better? No. Just, lighter. Like I don't have to lift a finger. Karma's doing all the work. My phone buzzed. A message from Chrissy. Can we talk? Please. I slid it back into my pocket without replying. Let me guess, Mark said, she's still chasing. She always will. Not because she loves me. Because she hates the silence. I shook my head. But silence is all she's earned. I thought back to when I saw them together, her smile fading, his face heavy, tired. Benny wasn't some hero. He was a man carrying his own chains. She traded love for baggage, I murmured. What? Mark asked. She thought Benny was freedom. But he's just another prison. Older, worn out, dragging his past behind him. And she walked right in. Mark exhaled. So you don't feel tempted to ruin her? I cut in. No. Why bother? She's already doing it herself. The words rolled out of me easier than I expected. Every lie she told me, she'll tell him. Every tear she faked for me, she'll fake for him. And he'll learn. Slowly. Painfully. Mark studied my face, then nodded. You don't want revenge. I already have it, I said. That night, I sat alone in my apartment, scrolling through old photos. My son, grinning, ice cream smeared across his face. My chest ached, but I forced myself to smile. One day you'll ask, I whispered to the picture. You'll ask how we met. How it all fell apart. I closed my eyes and imagined it, my boy at 12, at 15, turning to her. How did you and Dad meet? Her silence would stretch. Benny's eyes would drop, shame heavy in his throat. No story of love, no story of fate, just the ugliness of betrayal dressed up as romance. She'll choke on that moment, I said softly. And I won't need to say a word. My phone buzzed again, another call. I let it ring. Her voice left a message, trembling. I'm sorry. I need to talk. Please. Don't shut me out. I hit delete without listening to the end. Sorry doesn't undo the knife, I muttered. The next day, Mark met me again. You're quiet, he said. I've been thinking. About her? About how the world balances itself. He raised an eyebrow. You mean karma? Exactly. I used to think I had to fight. Expose her. Make her pay. But I don't. She's already unraveling. Friends gone, respect gone. Even Benny looks drained, like he aged 10 years overnight. Mark chuckled. So you're just sitting back, watching the show? Exactly. Silent revenge. He smirked. That's colder than anything you could have done. Not cold, I said, shaking my head. Clear. I leaned closer. The truth is, I don't want her destroyed. I want her to live with what she chose. Every morning she wakes up next to him, she remembers. Every time someone whispers, she hears the echo of her own betrayal. That's heavier than anything I could put on her shoulders. Mark nodded slowly. You've changed. Yeah, I said. She thought she broke me. But she handed me clarity instead. Later that week, I saw them together outside a store. She caught my eye, hesitant, guilty. He looked away, shoulders hunched, like a man already tired of carrying her. She tried to smile. Hi. I didn't stop walking. I just gave her the faintest nod. Behind me, I heard her voice crack. Wait, can't we just? But Benny cut in, low and sharp. Chrissy, not here. I almost laughed. Not here. Not now. The excuses had begun. At home, I stared at the ceiling, replaying that look on her face. Desperation, loneliness. Not love. Never love. You wanted me broken, I whispered. Now you're the one breaking. My phone lit up again. Another text, please, I'm sorry. I miss us. I typed back for the first time in weeks, us never existed the way you think. Don't call again. I hit send. My chest felt lighter. Mark called later. So you finally answered her? Once, I said. To end it. He laughed. Brutal. No. Honest. I leaned back in my chair. The truth is, she doesn't need my hatred. She's already choking on her own choices. That's karma's shadow, quiet, patient, inevitable. Mark's voice softened. And you're okay with that? I smiled bitterly. I don't just accept it. I welcome it. I stood by the window, city lights flickering below. She'll spend her life explaining away the whispers. She'll see our son's eyes and wonder when he'll learn. She'll hear his laugh and know it could have been different if she hadn't lied. That's not punishment from me. That's the universe doing what it does. The words tasted sharp, but freeing. I don't need revenge, I said again. She's her own executioner. Mark was silent for a moment. Then he said, you really are free, aren't you? Yeah, I whispered, watching the dark skyline. For the first time. The judge's gavel struck, sharp and final. Papers shuffled, chairs scraped. That was it, my marriage dissolved in a sterile courtroom. I stood slowly, numb but steady, and walked out into the gray morning with my son's small hand tucked into mine. He looked up at me. Daddy, are we going home now? Yeah, buddy, I said, forcing a smile. We're going home. The courthouse doors closed behind us, and for the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. The air was cool, clean, and it filled my chest without burning. Mark was waiting by the steps. It's done. It's done, I said, exhaling hard. He searched my face. How do you feel? I laughed quietly. Like I've been carrying a mountain, and someone finally took it off my shoulders. My son tugged at my hand. Daddy, can we get ice cream? I crouched down, brushing his hair back. Ice cream at 10 in the morning? He grinned. Why not? I chuckled. You're right. Why not? Mark smiled at us. You deserve it. Both of you. We walked down the steps together, my boy skipping beside me, his small laughter echoing through the stone columns. For months that sound had been poisoned, tangled with memories of lies. Now it rang clean again. Mark nudged me. You don't look broken anymore. I'm not, I said simply. We reached the sidewalk. I let out a long breath. I don't have to fight anymore, Mark. Not with her, not with myself. It's over. He nodded. So what now? Now? I glanced at my son. Now I just live. Co-parent, sure. But from a distance. Boundaries. No more chaos. Mark's voice softened. Think she'll respect that? She'll have to, I said firmly. Because I'm not bending anymore. My phone buzzed. A text from Chrissy, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. I hope one day you forgive me. I showed it to Mark. He frowned. You gonna answer? I shook my head. No. Some words don't deserve replies. My son tugged my sleeve again. Daddy, can we walk instead of drive? Yeah, buddy, I said. Let's walk. We started down the street, the city alive with people rushing past us. My boy hummed to himself, swinging our joined hands. Mark fell into step beside me. You really let go, didn't you? Yeah, I said, staring straight ahead. For months I clung to anger, to betrayal, to every word she twisted. But today, standing in that courtroom, I realized, I survived it. And surviving means I don't owe her another second of my life. Mark gave a low whistle. That's strength, man. Real strength. I smiled faintly. It's not revenge. It's not bitterness. It's just clarity. We reached a small park. My son ran to the swings, laughing, the sound like sunlight cutting through clouds. I watched him, chest tight but steady. He's my reason, I said quietly. Mark followed my gaze. He'll know one day. Yeah, I murmured. He'll know I didn't break. He'll know I chose honesty, even when it shattered me. We sat on a bench while my boy pumped his legs on the swing. Mark broke the silence. Do you ever wonder if things had gone differently? I thought about it, then shook my head. No. If she hadn't betrayed me this time, it would have been another. Weakness doesn't disappear. It just hides. He nodded. So you don't miss her? I exhaled slowly. I miss the idea of her. The woman I thought she was. But she never existed. Mark leaned back. That realization, that's freedom. Yeah, I said. And for the first time, I believe it. My phone buzzed again. Another message. We'll always be connected because of our son. Please don't hate me forever. I turned the screen off. She still doesn't get it. Mark raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? She thinks the opposite of hate is forgiveness, I said. But it's not. The opposite of hate is nothing. And that's what I feel now. Nothing. He nodded slowly. Indifference. That's real closure. My son jumped off the swing, running toward me. Daddy, push me higher next time. I scooped him up, spinning him around. His laughter filled my ears, pure and untainted. Mark smiled. Looks like you've already won. I held my boy close, kissing the top of his head. Yeah, I said softly. I did. We walked together toward the corner ice cream shop. My son rattled off flavors he wanted, his voice quick and excited. Mark laughed. He's got your energy. I shook my head. No. He's better than me. He's going to grow up knowing strength means walking away from lies. That's the gift I'm giving him. Inside the shop, my son pressed his nose to the glass. Daddy, look. They have chocolate chip cookie dough. I smiled. Then that's what you're getting. As he picked his cone, I caught my reflection in the glass. For months I'd seen only shadows under my eyes, weight pulling down my shoulders. Now, for the first time, I saw someone lighter. Someone alive. Mark clapped my back. You look different. I feel different, I said. Like I can finally see with wide open eyes. We sat outside on a bench, my boy happily devouring his ice cream, chocolate smearing his cheeks. Mark leaned close. So what's next for you? A fresh start? Dating again? I laughed, shaking my head. Not yet. I don't need someone to fill the space she left. I need to build my own space first. He nodded approvingly. That's the right move. Besides, I added, watching my son, my focus is here. Raising him. Being steady. That's enough. Chrissy called. I declined. My son looked up. Was that Mommy? Yeah, buddy, I said gently. He frowned. Why didn't you answer? I knelt down to his level. Because Mommy and Daddy don't always need to talk. But we'll both always love you. That never changes. His eyes softened. Okay. Mark whispered, you handled that perfectly. I sighed. It's not about me anymore. It's about him. We finished the cones, walked back to the car. My son climbed into his seat, humming a tune. Mark turned to me. Final thoughts? I looked at the courthouse in the distance, then at my boy. For months, betrayal was my story, I said quietly. But not anymore. Today, the story ends. And a new one begins. Mark smiled. And how would you title it? I exhaled. Strength. Survival. Rebirth. I slid into the driver's seat. My son called out, Daddy, can we go to the park tomorrow too? Of course, buddy, I said. Tomorrow and every day after. As we pulled away, I didn't look back. The past was behind me. And for the first time, I was free.